Hi guys, I'm going to solve this optimization problem and I don't have Animal Crossing, but I asked my friend to build a fence for us to illustrate the problem. Ooh, and look at the fancy picnic he has going on. Looks like he has a box of sushi and some other delicious food. Okay, so the problem says you have 200 feet of fencing to enclose a rectangular garden. Find the length and width to have the maximum area. Alright, so there was a little mishap when building the original fence, so we had to build a new fence over here, but here it is, and stay tuned for bloopers. So usually when I do optimization problems, I follow these basic steps. 1. Sketch the figure, write down equations, reduce equations to one variable, differentiate, and check critical numbers. But we'll go over these steps as we do the problem. So you already know from geometry that a rectangle's perimeter is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So let me write that right here. And you also know that the area of a rectangle is length times width. Actually, we already did the first 2 steps just to sketch the figure and write down the equation. So let me check that off. And the next step is to reduce to one variable. So I know from the problem that I have 200 feet of fencing, so that must mean the perimeter is 200. And I want to reduce to one variable. That means I want to solve for either x or y and plug it into the other equation. Let's just solve for y. And I know that I want to plug my variable into the area equation because that's what I want to maximize, and that's what I'm going to eventually differentiate. So let me plug the y into the area equation. Now I've gotten it down to one variable, so I can check this off, and next step is to differentiate. So now when I differentiate, I get 100 minus 2x. Now I can cross this off, and let's solve and check for the critical numbers. So I'm going to use this equation, solve for 0, and I get x equals 50. And sometimes you might get a negative number or a 0 when you solve for critical numbers, so you have to check your problem to see if that would make sense in the context. So if x is 50, I plug that back in and I get y equals 50. So x equals 50 and y equals 50, and my area would be 2,500 square feet. So actually, to get the max area with 200 feet of fencing, my rectangle would be a square in this case, so my sketch was definitely not proportional. But anyways, you can kind of check your answers too. Like if I were to use 60 feet of fencing for the lengths, I'd have to use 40 feet of fencing for the widths, and I'd get an area of about 2,400. And if I used 70 feet of fencing for the lengths, I'd have to use 30 feet of fencing for the widths, and my area would end up being 2,100. So 50 times 50 would be the greatest area. Okay, let's check off our final step and watch some bloopers.
I'm sorry, stupid tree. Okay.
It's okay.
Oops.
Chris, you had one. Yeah. Oh.
Okay, steady.
I didn't know it was like. But I'm trying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's so cute.
Look, it's okay.
I'll cut that.
Okay.
Cut it out. I can't.
Oh my god. Sorry. I may have to move it. These things are too close.
Okay.
I think
Should we restart? The go behind. Oh no!
Okay, is that good?
It's good, but it's a little squarish. Alright, thanks guys for watching. Please subscribe and check out my other videos if you haven't.